back to a brand new year of the Cinema Snob, where it's been a while since we talked about a Jamie Lee Curtis slasher movie, but, too early in the year to talk about Halloween, and I did that one already. It's not prom season yet. I've already given up my resolution to exercise more. Terror Train. New Year's Horror on a Train. Wait. That's the New Year's train scene from Trading Places. Get the one with the slasher killer. There. That's Terror Train. This is a Canadian slasher that originated from a dream by producer Daniel Grodnick. He woke up to tell his wife he wanted to make Halloween on a train, and when she said, "That's terrible," he said, "I can call it Terrible Train." I like that line of thinking. The title may have changed, but that made an excellent pitch as he went around telling lots of people, "Put Halloween on a train." This was years before we put Die Hard on a train, and then Die Hard on a train again. Producer Sandy Howard liked this idea, and I trust his instincts. He produced the 1-2 punch of Wings Hauser in Vice Squad and Deadly Force. The script would also be written by T.Y. Drake, a TV writer who worked on Then Came Bronson, MacGyver, The Psychiatrist, and also directed the 1976 Christopher Lee horror film The Keeper, but directing duties here would mark the debut of Roger Spottiswoode, who would later direct Tomorrow Never Dies, but had a lot of experience as an editor who worked on a number of Sam Peckinpah films, and it was through The Getaway he became friends with legendary Ben Johnson, who appears in this film. The movie is your classic prank goes terribly wrong slasher, where years later someone has to pay. I bet this means the killer was hospital roommates with Marty Ranson. They hatched these schemes together. As long as the nuclear apocalypse doesn't happen, you'll all be fine. Still, I know it's a slasher. You know why? It opens with a fire. Is it The Burning? Is it Friday the 13th? Doesn't matter. A lot of these people won't make it to the end, and at least one won't make it past the Jaws opening fire. These are our college co-ed heroes, whose theme for the party is to dress just like Animal House. Actually, the budget's not big enough for that. Go with a king frat theme. It was from one of the writers of Friday the 13th. Just make sure the students are silly.
Women are strange, Doctor. Very strange.
Right, Ed.
Your shtick got old freshman year. They're all students of Northern Illinois University, led by the untrustworthy Doc. He'll be the Tim Matheson of the movie. Where here, they're tricking Kenny Hampson into thinking he's gonna get so laid. Not gonna happen. Best case scenario, you'll turn into the Toxic Avenger. I know they're trying to haze the new pledges, but do they have to resort to the extremely rude name-calling and the limb chopping?
Happy New Year anyway, buddy.
Hey, same to you, Doc.
They're severely underreacting to the slashing. Jamie Lee plays Elena Maxwell, who isn't too sure about this prank. She's already survived fogs and shapes. A college prank going wrong is tempting fate too much. A lot of the opening sequence was the last thing shot for the movie, which was added after the initial production to give more of a backstory to the villain. That's the thing about a lot of prank gone wrong slashers. There really isn't any spoilers in saying who the killer is. Obviously, the prank comes in when Kenny isn't going to have sex with the girl at all because he's too distracted by all the blinking lights. Hell, I'm having an ADHD flare-up watching this. Which, on the plus side, means I'll have about 1,000 notes for the next 30 seconds of film. Or I can just sum it up by saying that Kenny's the slapstick clown for a reason. He gets all tangled up from the good old-fashioned prank of a corpse from the medical class in bed with him instead. They go hardcore at NIU. I'm sold on this opening, especially with the sweet train music. Ooh, it's gonna be really hilarious when Richard Pryor shows up halfway through. It's 3 years later, and I don't know why we had to wait that long. I'm sure they got over what they did to Kenny 3 seconds later. And sure, it's New Year's Eve again, but just by coincidence, they never stopped partying over the last 3 years. Come on, people, we rented this real Canadian Pacific Railway for the shoot, and we're gonna get our money's worth out of it. This is a good setup, because it's a costume party. The killer could be anyone.
Would you like a joint?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one.
Go ahead,
Good idea.
help yourself.
Oh my God.
Ugh, a day doesn't go by without the finger prank. The reason the killer could be anyone is because everyone's tired of these college pranks and their lackluster Groucho impressions. The mask does not help with these jokes.
Wait! I think she sprung a leak. Either that or she's kissing me.
God damn it, I'm not drunk enough for these jokes! Sure, my son is far too young to be watching this movie with me, but it's okay. I'll tell him that it's the Polar Express. Just saying, this movie really does need the great Eddie Deason, who would have made a fine Kenny. I know I haven't said much about the characters, namely because most of the dialogue can be summed up with woo. Even with that, one of them is dead already. Gonna need that mask. Sure, the killer doesn't wear it in the movie for very long, but still, it made for a really memorable poster. And just saying, with this group, one was bound to get run over by the train once it left. Doesn't matter if he was dead before or after it took off. The film is shot incredibly well. I'd say downright Kubrickian, in that cinematographer John Alcott shot a number of Kubrick films, like A Clockwork Orange, The Shining, and Barry Lyndon. As for the dialogue here, yes, these two will miss each other after school is over, but where's the Gene Shalit killer? This detour is going off the rails. While the kids may be chugga-chuggaing this beer, I'm choosing a different movie. I'm mostly interested in the plot with Ben Johnson as Karn, the conductor who is close to retirement and wants to live in an RV to run over all the partiers that he can. This also has an early appearance from David Copperfield as the trained magician, who's also the movie's red herring, given he looks not unlike our early glimpse of Kenny at the beginning. And wait, Doc looks familiar too. Let me just add this beard and, what? Hart Bachner? Excellent. Ellis did survive Christmas to make it to New Year's. Wait, I just came up with a new one. No one's gonna finger me as the killer. This movie's sure to be the sleeper car hit of the season. I'm running out of puns. I better change costumes, but I need to drain the lizard first. Oh, let's take a break so that I can take a breather after those jokes.
On a journey into a world where nightmare becomes reality. Travel with us, if you dare, on the Horror Express.
We're back, and I do love the Hart Bachner casting. He's written to be the asshole that you know is gonna die, and he is great at playing a sleazy dude. But they should still ration some of this booze. Whether it's the students or the train staff, once the storm hits, the Snowpiercer will be stuck writing for decades. I'm assuming it's the same universe. That movie's inclusion of Midnight with the Stars and You also made it a slightly Kubrickian train. Ooh, magic! I'm distracted again.
It'll seem to be sticking to it. And if we keep turning it, it'll look like cigarettes penetrating the quarter, just like that.
Who taught you this black magic, you Lucifer? It was Sandy Howard's idea to incorporate magic into the movie, which was clever since the movie plays on a lot of sleight of hand with the killer drifting in and out of costumes. We'll give the characters some entertainment before they die. Now remember, like Halloween, you're all from Illinois.
Elena, come on. I said I was sorry, and I meant it.
He's from the Canada district of DeKalb. I've taken hundreds of trains in my life, and even though there's a killer here, I've never been on a train this awesome. Why doesn't Amtrak have more disco magicians? Not sure if train or flipped over to a station that's showing the Ritz. This could feel like padding, sure, but it's enjoyable padding. It gives the movie a theme and a style. The look alone does a good job of carrying it. The real horror comes in when some will wake up hungover the next day. Have you ever been hungover on a rocking train? It's horrible. I'd rather someone in a Groucho mask throw me under the train. Before then, though, we'll dance the night away. Halloween may be a classic, but between this and prom night, I do love the disco Jamie Lee slashers and the excellent Ben Johnson reactions.
My God.
I told you the creature from the Black Lagoon was real and they didn't believe me. Ben's seen this kind of thing before. First he was on the train attacked by bees in the swarm, and now a multiple costumed killer. He's very concerned.
Never saw anybody so dead as that. I got to sit down, Charlie, for a minute.
On the plus side, if the kids keep dying, then Ben can finish his whiskey in peace. Hell, I like that they could have made this a haunted train and not have to change the production design at all. This does look like the type of train where a ghost would serve Jack Torrance a drink. It still plays with expectations too. Like now suddenly the dead body looks like a drunk person passed out. Ben actually looks pissed there wasn't a dead body in there. Ugh, one more mouth to vomit all over my walls. Don't worry, there's not that many characters. Doesn't take them long to go through the yearbook either. I guess our main characters are the only ones graduating. And wait, I don't think that's a drunk guy in the costume at all. It really is Replicator. Whether it's a drunk frat guy or a killer, this girl's in danger. Just like they are in the other cars too.
I liked your show.
Do you believe in magic? I'll have to convince you.
Don't trust him. That is not Charles Dickens. Between making things float and then disappearing, there's more magic on this train than teleportation Jason on his boat ride. And this was shot in 1979, so there's far more dancing. And far more drunken ranting about inflation, which is a scene that happens in it. But I'm still interested in these magic shows. I like that the red herring is an actual magician. Copperfield may not have liked his experience in acting in a movie, but his eyes do sell the character and his reason for being in it. If only they could have hidden the bodies in his trunk. He still can't find a reason to care about the students or their dead tomfoolery. He's more interested in the shoe.
Do you know whose this is?
Yeah, it's Mitchie's.
Wait, but she kissed me and ran into her pumpkin carriage. She's supposed to be my wife. He feels it okay to just tell her that he found her friend dead. It's Jamie Lee. Of course she'll survive the movie. She has that power. Even when she dies, they'll bring her back. See, Michael Myers is in there right now fooling Linda by putting a sheet over him again. Pfft, he snuck behind the bushes. I actually do have more questions about this magic act. Sure, the illusion is working on us with this camera angle, but what about the people sitting behind him? Is he really doing magic? Also, I think Elena's boyfriend Mo is dead. I don't know how. I was too busy looking at this trick. Damn it, they always get me every time with the distractions. Is Mo gonna be okay?
Come on, Mo! Come on! Mo! Oh no! Oh, come on, Mo!
The Stooges went a little gritty in the Shemp years when they just stabbed Mo with a saw. Guess we should stop the train. Stop it in an area where the moonlight will make it look super cool for the shots. Don't worry, folks. Hercule Poirot will be here any minute now. If you need to keep warm, tell more backstory of Kenny.
Doc, he was sick. I went to the hospital just afterwards. They said he killed somebody before. And they said it might have been an accident, but he killed somebody.
Right, it's possible the orderly could have just slipped onto the axe. This is angering the people more than the killer. Sure, we could get murdered, but it's really cold out here. We'll take our chances inside. Elena and Ellis have the right idea. Go inside and negotiate with this bit of Eurotrash, or just sit back and let the problem take care of itself.
I'm not moving. Every man for himself.
I love that he's still Ellis in this. He just pushes her out into the hallway. See ya. So yeah, clearly he's gonna die. I always like Hart Bochner when I see him and stuff, but admittedly, it does take me a minute to recognize him because he's just so synonymous with facial hair. Let's take a break. Only way out of this is to make the whole train disappear.
It's the night before Christmas, but don't bother to wish them Merry Christmas. Their future isn't going that far. The last stop on the night train.
We're back, and god damn it, these sleeper car beds are hard enough to pull down and set back up anyway. It barely makes it worse when there's a dead body on it. Now take me to one of the rooms where it's cozy enough so I can still get a pillow and blanket and get some sleep during the slasher movie climax. Don't lose focus though, the movie is more magical than I thought.
Shut up, all of you! I said, move off, sir.
The hell? That's Tom Haverstock, Adam from Skullduggery. No, don't give him an axe. I told you this devil magic will bring forth another evil spell that's gonna create another killer. We can't have two sorcerers on the same train. So long, Copperfield. They finally used his box to hide bodies in, which can only mean one thing. Kenny the Killer is really Kenny the Killer. I do remember liking this movie. It's been a long time since I saw it, maybe since high school, but honestly, the movie's really holding up for me. I do like the gimmick of having the killer use different disguises at a costume party, especially with tying it into its illusion themes. It really is the style that elevates it and makes it a fun watch, almost like it could have been a cool Argento slasher. Things do happen that in other hands could be silly, but the director and cinematographer work their asses off so hard here that when things like the killer looking in from outside the moving train happens, I'm like, shit, that looks good. I want to see where this goes next. The cinematography does make up for the flaws in it. A majority of the characters are pretty unmemorable, even for a movie like this. But the characters that do work stand out, like Ben Johnson as the conductor. And one performance that I wish there was more of, and I wish he was in more movies, was Derek McKinnon as Kenny, who sachets his mask away. He's in the movie less than 10 minutes, and makes the most of it with fairly creepy line delivery. It was kind of an accident that he was in the film. He was a drag performer who simply showed up at the audition with a friend who was auditioning instead, but they liked Derek more and he got the part. McKinnon had no movie experience and was apparently late for the shoots, but even in his limited screen time, his character is one of the things I remembered the most about it, even if... he might not be in a sequel. That's it, folks. We're out of beer and the killer's dead. Movie's over. Though not the end of Terror Train movies. There was a 2008 Thora Birch movie called Train that started out like it was going to be a Terror Train remake, but then a remake did happen in 2022 as a to-be original movie, plus a sequel, Terror Train 2, that came out the exact same year. That was fast. But now I can finally reveal the illusion. I lost one of the lenses to these glasses and then had to pop out the remaining one. There hasn't been anything in here this whole time. Magic.
Who did that to her?
Probably some kid messed up on dope.